Welcome back to the fifth video in this series. So in this video we are going to learn about the correct way to fetch data in JS. So I will be using React.js to show this. So even if you don't know anything about React.js, it doesn't matter. I will explain all the necessary things along the way. I'll be using here the inbuilt JavaScript function called fetch for demonstration. But you can also use Axios, HTTP request, anything you like, any third-party library you like. So let's start with I have created a basic React project on codesandbox.io, and here this is my app.js. This is our main file, so anything we write inside of it will be rendered on this HTML. If I write here hi, see, you can see hi here. Okay, so I'm currently printing here status, and you might be thinking, what is status here? So on line number 6, I have destructured status and data out of useFetch, and useFetch is defined in APIs. So in API.js, I have created a custom hook. And what is a custom? If you don't know React, just think it of as a custom function that is taking URL as a parameter. So in this, we are checking here useEffect is if you are not familiar with React, just think of it like this. Whenever a function, whenever a component is loaded, first of all useEffect is run. So when we have called API.js, first of all line number 7 will execute here, and if URL is not there, it will just return from this APIs.js, and we will come back to here. So you can see that on line number 4, I have set status to default value of idle. So and I am printing status here, so it's idle right now. But if I write anything inside of URL like ABC, now if not, URL will not run because URL is there, and line number 9 will execute set status fetching. So now status is set to fetching. That's why I'm getting fetching here. So I hope like you understood like simple basic concepts of React hooks here. So now let's start with our API. I am using JSON placeholder here to simply get 100 random posts. So let's just copy this URL and paste it here. So now URL is correct, so you can see fetching. Now in API.js, we will like manage everything here, calling the API, getting the response, sending it back to app.js. So that our API.js can be used as a like reusable. It's reusable. You can use API.js anywhere in a project. You have to just pass a URL, and then it will return you its value, or it will also do error handling also. I will tell you that later down the course. So let's just start implementing this API. Let's just simply create a function called fetch data and call it down. So inside of fetch data, we will simply write set status to fetching because we have the URL. Now we will implement the inbuilt fetch function. So fetch function takes first parameter the URL that you have to send, and then you can write anything like method, which is this method you are going to post get. So we are using get request because we want to take data from the server, not send to it. And inside of headers, you can write anything you want because this is sample JSON and sample request. It doesn't require any headers, but in production there is always an authentication token, and we simply pass some JWT or any token inside of it. And when the request is completed, we will write then we get some response out of it. So what we get out of this API, we have to convert that into JSON because on front end we can only handle JSON. So just convert it to JSON, and when it's converted to JSON, then we will again get a response, and inside of that response we will get our final data that is converted into JSON. So we will just simply call set data and we will pass down our response here, and then set status to fetched. So our data is fetched now, and we have got our data. We can simply confirm it here. We got our status here, and then we can just simply use data. Let's just first check if data is there. Data dot length. There should be something inside of data, and then we can just simply map the data out of it. Item okay, so just limit what is inside of it. We have title, we have body. So let's just print out the title here. Item dot title, and whenever you use map function, you have to give a unique ID to every div, and we have got our, I guess, user ID, no, ID, item dot ID. See, everything is printed now. So our API is working. But what will happen if there's an error in the API, like you get some error like network error or request, your request is not correct. Like if I change the URL to post or like this, now our API is not correct. Let me just refresh it. We will still get fetched here because we are not like handling any errors or anything here. So when after this we can just simply catch for some errors here. After that you have fetched here, then you can simply write dot catch and error and then console dot let me just console dot error. Let me just print out the error and error, and set status to fail to fetch. Okay, let's refresh it. Okay, it's still fetching here. Failed to fetch. Okay, because our URL was wrong, so we caught that error. Like this fetch function will start here. You will start with the URL. Okay, then it will go to here. Then since there is nothing inside of that URL, we will not get any response here that we are trying to convert it into JSON. On line number 18 we are trying to convert into our response to JSON, but since there is nothing in the response here, you will get an error like you are trying to convert null into some JSON. So on line number 18 we will get an error, and then we skip all of this and simply come to line number 23 catch, because we caught an error, and console.log error we got here like unexpected token in JSON at version 1, because it is not a valid object that you can convert into the JSON. So this was simple fetch function using dot then and dot catch. But in ES6 we got async and await also. So how will you convert it into async await? Let's just do it now. I will just comment this much. Okay, and after that you will first create a try and catch block. Simple. Try means like if inside of try block you try something that you might think like, okay, I am writing a code that might throw an error, so I'll write try, and inside of that try I will write response is equal to await. First of all, we have to create an async function because we are going to use await. So async await is like, async means we are creating an asynchronous function, and on line number 21 I am writing await so that this function will stop on line number 29. Until unless that line number 29 is resolved, we will not go further. Okay, on I will write now fetch URL. Okay, and after that we will now convert it to JSON. If only if 29 bit is resolved, then we will go to line number 30, that our data is okay, and now we will convert that response into JSON. And after that the same process, set data. Okay, and then set status to fetched. Fetching is also already there. Okay, so after try we have to write catch also, like catch our error, simple error. And here we will write same thing, console log error and set status to fail to fetch data. Simple. So let us go back and correct our URL back to posts. Fetching fetched. There is a mistake in my fetched spelling here. Fetched. Okay, we got fetched here. And again, if I just delete this posts, I will get syntax error again because our end failed to fetch. The data is already here because of some refresh issue in this code sandbox. Okay, failed to fetch data. And this is null here because we didn't get anything here. So this was simple fetch and fetch request in JavaScript using React.js, of course, and this is our custom hook, and this is like a great practice to use custom hooks to create a reusable component here. And now let me just recap the whole video. So first we created app.js. Inside of this we created a URL and we destructured status and data out of our custom hook or custom function, you can say, and we passed it down a simple URL. And inside of here I created, like for non-React persons, I created simple two variable called status and data, and the default value of status is idle and default value of status is an empty array. Okay, and this set status and set data are used to update this value of state of these variables. Okay, so first we check the condition on line number 8 that if URL is not there, simply return, and if URL is there, so we will create a fetch data function and we will call it down here. And inside of fetch data we will first simply change the status to fetching because URL is there, so we are trying to fetch. And then these are the two approaches that you can use. If you like the old ES5 syntax, like you like to write then dot catch, then you can use this. But if you are more into ES6 versions, then you can simply write try and catch, and inside of it await, async and await. But remember, whenever you try await, you want to use await, you have to first convert that function to an async function, because only inside of async function we can call await, and then we get our data, we change the status, and we also catch our error. And this use effect function is always it always run when the component is loaded, like api.js is loaded. First of all, this line number 7, our use effect function will be called. Of course these will also run first, but our first function is use effect function, and it's a callback function, and it takes second argument as URL, an object. Inside of this you can pass anything. So for if you know React, then in URL I have given URL because anytime URL changes, you see anytime URL changes, this is automatically changing because we are calling this on line number 6, but we update this whenever URL changes. The second dependency tells use effect function like, okay, URL has changed, so time to re-render it. It will only re-render this when URL changes. Okay, and when URL changes, it processes it, and in the end we are returning status and data. This status and data, we are exporting it out, returning to here line number 6, and then we did just simply destructure status and data out of use effect. And then we are on line number 10, we are printing our status, and on line number 11 we are using map function to cycle through our this data array, and inside of it this we are printing simple item dot title and we can see here, if I just correct this back to posts, you will see fetching, fetched, and all this is here. And I have given every div a unique ID because React requires a unique ID so that it can track all these things. Like if you change anything in on line number 6 like this, how will React know that it was this item if it doesn't get a unique ID? So you have to always give a unique ID whenever you are using map function. Okay guys, that's for it. If you like this video, press like. You can also subscribe to my channel, and if you want to learn anything, just comment it down below. I will check it, and if I find that interesting, I will create a video. And this is also in my JavaScript, advanced JavaScript, what do you say, playlist only, because, and if you want me to like start something in React also, I can do it. So thanks for this video. It's Rohit signing off. Bye bye.